I'm Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
Hey, everybody, I'm Pat Reber.
And I'm Matt Ockamp.
And say it with us, Daniel.
Welcome
to Mutant Menace. Matt.
Pat.
Welcome, just like Pete said, welcome to Mutant Menace.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been waiting outside for a very long time, and I've come in and I've got a lot of new ideas for you. First of all, Yeah.
Before you go over all that, I've already set out a plan for us today.
Damn it. Okay. All right, sure.
Today,
when do I get to give notes? When's that part of the plan?
Off air.
Fuck.
Today, Matt, I think we should talk about, it's been a little while, the New Mutants.
You know there's a reason I haven't been talking about the New Mutants. You know what they said to me last time.
Well, it's time to forgive them in your heart and on your podcast, because today we're covering a pretty interesting arc of the New Mutants. Can you remind us what's going on with them?
Oh God. So last we left them, they were the entire all the X-Men and the New Mutants got sucked away to Asgard, where where Karma lost all her weight. Danny Moonstar became a Valkyrie.
A Valkyrie of the Valkyries.
Of the Valkyrie. One of Hela's Valkyries. So she is the chooser of death.
Yeah.
And when they got back, they got dropped into France, where Magneto was on trial in a global court for his crimes against humanity. It kind of got dismissed and he kind of escaped. It's like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Our episode about that, if you want, the trial of Magneto, if you want to know more about it. But in that episode, Professor Xavier was dying because of another big long story, and he got taken away by Lalandra to the Starjammer to be healed, leaving Magneto in charge of both the X-Men and the New Mutants.
Yeah.
So this is the first time the New Mutants have gotten back together, back to Westchester, and now their papa is Magneto.
Well put, Matt. They have appeared in Secret Wars 2 once, maybe twice. But not their final appearance in Secret Wars 2, which we won't spoil here just in case you haven't heard this Secret Wars 2 episode. It's a long one. When the Beyonder grabs Ileana and turns her into the Dark Child.
That's right. He's like, oh, you're interesting. And he touches her and pulls the Dark Child out of her. And she's like, what the fuck? And we saw the fallout from that in the last New Mutants episode,
right,
where they were in limbo, and it just fixed itself after a couple panels.
Yeah, most of the things did, but not everything. We'll find out today, because we are unfortunately still dealing with the interference of Secret Wars 2,
which I think is referenced metatextually in these issues. And
absolutely. Yeah.
We'll get into it, but
fun to dive into.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the thing that Claremont is interested in here is a metatextual commentary on what Secret Wars did to his plans for the New Mutants, and the psychology of what would happen to characters that have gone through the things that happened in Secret Wars 2.
Yeah.
But first
what? Oh, Matt?
Huh.
Matt?
The interesting thing about that one was nobody saw that coming.
Welcome. Matt, are you paying attention?
I'm paying attention. What
welcome
paying attention
to Pat's Email Corner.
Hi,
Pat's Email Corner. Did I sound like the Jurassic Park guy?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Up first, X-Man Sam. You remember X-Man Sam, Matt?
Sam, one of our first emailers.
One of our first emailers. And now...
X-Man Sam, or did he nickname himself X-Man Sam?
I don't think we ever gave them a nickname, and we are just now getting...
Oh, good point. Yeah, we don't know
self-appointed nickname.
So we have X-Man Sam here.
Hey, Pat, this is X-Man Sam writing in again. Would you be able to ask Matt if he would be interested in a bonus episode about X-Men video games where the two of you try to guess when each X-Men game takes place in the canon covered so far? This can be based entirely on the cover art of the game or advertisements if available. Maybe that would make for a neat bonus episode or one of your puppy laughing shows from the Patreon. Keep up the good work, and I'm looking forward to the coverage of the Long Shot mini-series.
Puppy laughing. That's a good way to say puffy faffin.
Puppy laughing is funny, and thank you for plugging the Patreon. I know that we've talked about them, Matt. I know that we want to dig into these weird X-Men video games.
We have talked about, and this is a good time to mention it because, you know, people in the Discord or on social media or whatever can let us know what they think. We have talked about doing live streams of X-Men.
Yeah. I'm just trying to play them and goof around. And
yeah. We haven't quite figured out the mechanics of how we would do that multiplayer because most of them would need to be emulated in order to be streamed. But we can do our best if people would be interested in that.
Yeah. Do you want to see us do a live stream?
Vote with your votes, folks.
We do get a PS from X-Man Sam here. My owl doctor has diagnosed me with anosmia. What's an owl doctor, Matt?
Are you sure it's not AI?
My owl doctor. Anyway, has diagnosed me with
Let me copy and paste this into a Word document and then make it really big so I can see if
there's any kerning on it or not.
I or an L. Or I could just change the font.
While you're doing that, I'll continue reading here. My doctor has diagnosed me with anosmia, meaning I'm unable to detect certain sulfur-containing odor compounds called thiols, such as those found in skunk spray, flatulence, and natural gas odorants. I guess, yeah, Sam, let us know. Can you smell skunk spray?
I think they just told us they can't.
well, this is, I don't know if this is a real doctor or just an owl doctor.
No, I blew it up and it's Al. It's Al. You don't need to let us know the first name of your doctors, people, but you can. Everybody, actually, you know what? Everybody email us, mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. First name of your doctor, and we'll shout them out at the beginning of the podcast.
Up next, Matt, we got an email from Sweet Douglas.
Okay.
No subject line. Content just says Flurgle McDurgle.
Yeah, because that's Sweet Douglas's real name, real Christian name.
I think Sweet Douglas is drunk.
I think he's telling us his real Christian name so that we can say it at the beginning of the podcast, like we are going to say all your doctors' first names.
Okay, Matt, you can say that one next time.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay. Unless we get a doctor's name.
Up next, Weapon Jason. Episode number 71. Hey, Pat, tell Matt.
It's not often that we talk about emails off air.
This one we have talked about off air. He says, I can't tell if Pat's doing a bit or not around Scott, but nothing in these X Factor issues feels like the Scott we've known since Giant-Sized X-Man. No, I am not doing a bit. This is very real, and I'm not going to relitigate. We cut out some of our arguing about this from the last episode.
I will say,
stretched.
There's a very good. He makes some very good points in this email though about it, and I want us to keep in mind the difference between the average person going through a crisis like you described versus Scott Summers going through the crisis that you described.
Scott Summers, whose father abandoned him and who has never had a reliable father figure.
Yes, but who has already lost that father figure several times and did not collapse in this way.
Okay. Is this a man in crisis? Weapon Jason says, sure. A normal man with none of the experiences or character of Scott Summers. Not a man who's faced the death of his mentor, the sacrifice of his lover, who's fought Magneto, the Brood, faced off against the Imperial Guard, who moved on and built a life with Maddie, whose core is a sense of responsibility to those around him, who is someone who can be counted on to step up and be there. Yeah. This is not Scott Summers. This is a sock puppet filling some directive/plan from Layton and Shitter to tell real X-Men stories because they do not understand what Claremont is doing.
And they just disagree with Claremont's idea that superheroes should grow out of it, which is such a fucking good and smart idea.
A fun way to approach. Yeah, absolutely. And look, that last sentence, or the last half of the last sentence here, this is just filling some directive/plan from Layton and Shitter to tell real X-Men stories because they do not understand. That I fully agree with. I'm telling you that Scott Summers is not a perfect man, and he's
taking
courage
his shirt off, guys. He's
and responsibility
really upset
that you see in him is for an entirely different emotional range than settling down, leaving a life of adventure to be a father, to take on raising a child. Like, it is entirely possible for the best person that you know to be so broken by jarring changes in his life that he does something awful. And that's what we're seeing here. Scott has gone through a decade, maybe not a decade, but years and years of this weird trauma that he just doesn't have an outlet for. And it all comes together when he actually has to remove himself from that cycle. He doesn't know how to handle it, so he disassociates. Like, that's how it happens with extremely intelligent and caring and empathetic people when they're finally broken.
But it's not even just his intelligence and his caring and his empathy that makes him dedicated to the people around him. It is a pathological sense of responsibility that he has
to the X-Men. He's never shown that to anyone except for his team, that as soon as he left, he changed.
And like bystanders and the rest of the human race.
Well, yeah, he's saved other people, but like there's a difference between doing something nice for a stranger on the street and doing that same thing for your wife.
Did we forget that issue where he goes to Lee Forrester's house and kills her dad?
What is...
That's not one of his X-Men that he feels responsibility for. And that is him living like for months on a boat, taking on all the responsibilities of this entirely different family that
that is not entirely different. He's acting as the co-captain of a boat crew.
Well, so now he's the co-captain.
He's a man tied to work. Once you separate the work from the family, he doesn't know what to do with the family side of it. He can only be family with his work family.
Well, now he's co-captain of Nathan Christopher Xavier Summers or whatever.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
But he lives at his
we
work.
can leave it. I've said my piece. You guys can pretend this isn't canon or whatever it is that he was replaced by an alien somewhere in the
I think why this
180s.
is important is the next sentence that Jason says.
The rage and character assassination here is real, and a lot of the crap that Cyclops/Scott will get for the next decade about being boring and an ass comes out of this complete shitting on the character.
I think that is what's the problem, is by breaking Scott's character at the beginning of X Factor, now no writer knows who Scott Summers is, and we will get this absolutely blank sheet of paper called Scott Summers until Grant Morrison gets their hands on him.
Well, I don't know that.
Okay, sorry. I mean, you do, and you're lying. But for the fiction of the podcast, let's say Pat has absolutely no evidence for this, and so he can stand on his convictions.
All right, moving on, because again, we cannot. We cannot keep arguing this over and over again. Outside of the X Factor episodes.
I can get it. I can get that I can get without, if you're removing the context of that last sentence, you could be like, no, some exciting stuff is happening for Scott Summers. You could see, like, this is an interesting new chapter in his life. I could see that. It's just, but we'll see. We'll see if it pans out.
Okay. I think it will. Weapon Jason goes on, he says, honestly, the launch of X Factor felt like such a what the fuck series. If I hadn't kind of liked the art, I suspect I would have dropped reading the book much sooner. Thankfully, Leighton isn't around very long, and the book slowly finds some kind of direction. Some kind of direction, but I don't know that it ever finds character. Well, besides our urchins, our like new pals, our little runaways, Artie and Rusty, and we'll meet some other folks. Okay.
Yeah.
Changing direction briefly, just wanted to add that another thing that makes Secret Wars 2 even worse is that a few months before it started, DC had launched Crisis on Infinite Earths, a much better series/crossover written by ex-Marvel writer Marv Wolfman and penciled by ex-Marvel artist George Perez. I've also suspected Jim was scrambling to try and do something he thought would be just as important and would change the Marvel Universe out of jealousy. Also suspect this jealousy would fire his new universe launch.
Okay, all right. Yes, I think the jealousy fires off the new universe launch, right? Definitely his jealousy of DC and their success with launching a new universe out of their old universe is the reason for the new universe, right?
I mean, so wasn't the new universe his plan all along? Like from day one, wasn't he saying, hey, I'm going to just start everything over?
Huh.
Because that was at the end of Secret Wars 1, he even flirts with that, right? He has the Beyonder destroy everything and just like start the world anew. And then he's like, actually, just kidding.
And maybe the end of Secret Wars 1 is where Marv Wolfman gets the idea. But
sure, yeah.
New Universe is a new set of superheroes in an entirely, at the time, supposedly unconnected universe. So Starbrand and Justice and I forget who else.
Oh.
And I think, I think that is jealousy over the fact that DC got to start from square one and retell all their origin stories and everything and got sales for it. I don't think Secret Wars 2 was this. I think it is interesting that Crisis on Infinite Earths had just launched. I think Secret Wars 2 is an evolution of the ego that built from Secret Wars 1.
Yeah, that's true. And it also, the planning for it started after issue 1 of Secret Wars 1. So,
yeah. And he became in love with this idea that he hadn't really fleshed out in the first series, that he was God of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And he realized he didn't really push or pull that metaphor very far. And so he was like, I have to make sure people understand. Like, I think, like, all the biographies of Marvel say that he didn't want to write Secret Wars 2, but I have so much trouble believing that, because how did he have such a solid, I mean, a chaotic, stupid, fell apart the moment it started vision, but it was a clear vision for what he wanted to do at first.
The first like 3 issues at least.
Well, that's what I mean. He thought the premise would hold him for longer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do want to step back a little bit when he talks about what X Factor being a what the fuck series.
Okay.
I have fully swallowed, especially when editing and releasing the last episode, I've fully swallowed your I'm Pat Reber pilled on the first couple
Take
issues
my pills.
The Bob Layton X Factor isn't bad. It's just out of step with 1986 comics.
Yeah.
It is a really good 1960s series. And when I look at it that way, the way that you explained it, it illuminates something for me, which is why, like, I was always of two minds about the Bob Layton X Factor issues. Like, I knew somewhere deep down inside that there was something I enjoyed about them, but my whole brain was saying, you hate this because this makes no sense and is character assassination and is poor writing and is ridiculous and doesn't fit with anything else going on in the X universe. So I think what comes out of my mouth is just like, I hate this. But there is something I enjoy about it, and I think it's what you said. It's that it's returning to a admittedly bad time in Marvel Comics history, but a time that me and you have some affection for.
Yeah, it's schlock, right? It's brain candy. It's not the high level comics that we have been reading, or attempts at high level comics, depending on what we're reading. This is just meant to be like fun, old timey X-Men, and it pulls that off really well.
I mean, I think that's the only thing I'm going to disagree with is I think that's the problem with it. I don't think it's trying to be that, but it is that.
Oh, it really feels like it's trying.
I feel like it thinks it's. I feel like they think they're doing something a little bigger.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay,
and one more.
It introduces us to Artie and Rusty, and like you can't discount how cool these new folks are.
That's true. Rusty's kind of
he's a
dink,
trick,
but
I like everybody that he's about to make friends with, so it rubs off on him.
All right, we gotta keep moving, Matt.
Sorry.
We are on to our last email, RE episode 71 from Inkmaster. Hey Pat, tell Matt, and then we get some compliments. I'm not gonna read them out loud, but
also I don't understand them. He's saying that we do bits on this show.
Talking about a bit that we did. Yeah.
Matt
only speaks truths.
I only speak truth.
I found the discussion that Email Michael brought up especially interesting and wanted to build on what you two were saying a bit. When people say this character would never do this, despite that character just doing that thing on page, what they're actually saying is this character would never do this if they were being written consistently. They are being mischaracterized. Mm-hmm. When someone asks, is this how this character's powers work, despite it being shown that's how they work on page, what is actually being asked is this how this character's powers are supposed to work? Does this depiction of this character's powers make sense given what we've been told about how they work and how they've been depicted in the past? It's not a question of canon, but a question of internal consistency. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that first sentence is kind of what we said, and I'm glad that Inkmaster was here to elaborate on it. Because that I think that is how I feel about it.
Yeah, it's fair. It is always. I think this was Email Michael's point. Like the mischaracterization has to at that point still become the characterization, unless you're going to decanonize it. That is still something that,
which sometimes makes a character less interesting, and maybe sometimes does it for years or decades or whatever, and that's a bummer. But you can
I thought about this a lot when Game of Thrones was very popular and still pretty good, where there was a period of that show where people were dying left and right? It was one of their good ways to end an episode was to kill somebody. And what I realized, because you love these characters and you see them die, and that's where the story goes. Like, the story has to evolve around the fact that they're dying. You don't need to like that it happened, but you should, if you're enjoying that story or that character, you should be able to trust that it's going to go somewhere. So that's the way that I try to look at it, even though, I sometimes really hate it.
And I think what we're saying when somebody other than Chris Claremont grabs a character and does something with them that doesn't make sense to our reading of them thus far is, I don't trust where this is going. I think this is going to lead this character down an uninteresting direction because it doesn't square with the things we know about them or the things that we found interesting about them before.
I think
we will see.
That's a perfect way to put it.
In 10 years from now, in this podcast, after we're done New X-Men, we're going to see that a lot from Chuck Austen and Brian Michael Bendis, is people not liking Grant Morrison's New X-Men.
Oh, right.
And then just kind of being like, okay, I don't like that the Stepford Cuckoos, what's interesting about them is that they're all the same person, so I'm going to give them their own personalities. I don't like Scott and Emma together, so I'm going to break them up. I don't like that Zorn was... I won't spoil it. So I'm going to do something wildly different with it, right? That is bad storytelling because you don't understand something. And
this is how you get the rise of Skywalker.
And in the past, like before serialized franchise storytelling, you wouldn't have that. When you were making those arguments, you were talking about a single writer. Well, I don't know. That's really, hold on. Now I'm thinking about it, because the single writer holding a character is really only an invention of the 1900s, right? Because I was thinking about like Sherlock Holmes. People got really angry when Arthur Conan Doyle brought him, when he killed him and then when he brought him back. But then I was thinking, like, before that, if you were telling a new story, if somebody was telling a new story about Odysseus, they are participating in a tradition of 7,000 other storytellers telling stories about Odysseus. So if somebody's like, that doesn't seem like the Odysseus I know, you would just you would just not retell that story, right? You would just not tell that story anymore, and it would disappear into the annals of history.
Anyway, Ink signs off with agreeing with Matt about Scott's character assassination, Ink.
Thanks.
So, another point for Matt, even though I've already made a salient enough point to outscore you. Play the theme song. Okay.
No, he's still going.
Oh, okay.
We were so mean to him last week.
I know. We I can't believe he made us sign that paper. And now we just have to let him play.
Oh, he looks like he's getting tired.
It was that, or let him call the police.
I could see him falling asleep. Okay,
yeah, he starts playing really quiet when he falls asleep.
He's out.
He turns the volume down so he can finally get some rest. It's so damn loud in here. Oh, Matt.
Yes, Pat.
Let me ask you a question, buddy.
I'd love it.
Did you do anything X-Men related this week?
I did.
Ooh.
But it's hard for me to explain how I did something X-Men related. So I'm going to say this. First, I'm going to say I did something X-Men related. I saw the new Spider-Man movie.
Okay.
And I can't elaborate beyond that.
Right.
But I saw
it's a Marvel property.
Right. But I saw the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And I can share my opinion on it if you want.
I haven't seen it yet.
Without giving spoilers, I can share my opinion on it.
I feel like your opinion in itself is a spoiler, right?
So I think this story gives you a lot of plot contrivances and story conceits that are ridiculous and
sounds
stupid.
Like Spider-Man.
And stupid and frustrating and don't follow in a consistent internal logic, and you're watching it and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? And that is frustrating. And so I could see you, any total nerd, of which me and you are half of. Each of us has half of total nerd in us.
Yeah, together we are a total nerd.
Being like, this movie sucked because, and then listing all those inconsistencies. Sure. And it'd be hard to argue against that. Like, yeah, if that's what's important to you, then yeah, you're right. Those were very stupid things that the screenwriters decided on. Thematically, this movie is tackling like bigger themes and ideas than Marvel movies have in a while. We that was what made us love Marvel movies to begin with, right? It wasn't just seeing first it was seeing superheroes punch supervillains in cool costumes.
Yeah.
But once that wore off, which happened really fucking quick, like way quicker than any of us thought it would, that wore off so fast. It wore off before the first Fantastic Four movie, because we all were like, no, not this, I think. No, actually. The thing that made us love Marvel movies was then like the early Iron Man movies, the early Captain America. Well, not the first Captain America movie, but Captain America, the Winter Soldier. These movies had themes and ideas that they were trying to communicate, right? Like they were pieces of art. You could argue how high of art they were, but they were.
Yeah. They were Disneyfied, but they were still trying to do something.
They were artistic expressions, right? They weren't just schlocky entertainment. I think Spider-Man Brand New Day is a return to that. And yes, just like a Marvel movie, it still hits you over the head with it. It's not subtle, but it is layered. And I appreciated that, and I felt like it was emotional, and it was I liked this movie a lot.
Okay.
But there's a lot to hate about it too.
What if I cut out the second half of your thing where you just say all the negative stuff and then I skip to there's a lot to hate about it?
I am going to give one spoiler that I think everyone should have before going into it. If you've seen the trailer, if you haven't seen the trailer, skip ahead 15 seconds. If you have seen the trailer, bro,
quickly, we only have 15 seconds.
Bro, all that stuff happens in the first 5 minutes. Literally, all that stuff is in the first 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Everything in the trailer.
Yes, don't expect to see all those villains and stuff. Like, that is not what the movie's about.
Okay.
And they shouldn't have lied to you like that, which is why I'm uncomfortable spoiling it, is because that's like utter bullshit. All right. Was that too spoilery?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Patrick,
we'll print it.
Did you do anything X-Men related this week?
Did I do anything X-Men related this week?
You knew this was coming. You don't have to.
I'm going to use my no card.
Okay, you only have 2 minutes left.
I haven't done anything X-Men related this week. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I lived.
The X-Men live.
Not all of them.
They do. Oh. Rest in peace.
Speaking of, Matt.
Did somebody die?
Do you want to
tell you about New Mutants number 35, The Times They Are A-Changin'?
Yeah.
I would love to. It's by Chris Claremont. He wrote it. And Pat, Mary, okay. This Mary Wilshire draws this thing, who we recently saw in Power Pack, and we were like, we love this girl.
Right, yeah.
Bill Sienkiewicz, we love this boy. We see him in New Mutants, we're like, we love your artwork. So it's a boy and a girl who we love working together.
Are they married?
And they fucking do not work well at all.
What? You don't like this?
Sucks, man.
I love this.
There are moments.
I love this art. How
there
are we not
that are great
on the same page here?
But it is Mary Wilshire draws such clear and clean art, and Bill Sienkiewicz draws such like expressive
it's
and
like
abstract
inking
art
all over it. Yeah.
So she draws these scenes that would look really great if they were like, the pencils probably looked amazing, and he's just scribbling over all the lines.
I love it so much. I think it comes out perfectly.
So you get these really cool moments, which we will talk about. Like, there are panels that I am in love with, but largely I am not a fan.
All right. Okay.
Tom and Lois are the letterers. Petra Scorsese is the colorist. Ann Nocenti is the editor, and Gabriel Duval, 1752 to 1844, is the editor-in-chief. Release date, September 24th, 1985. Cover date, January 1986. Pat, January 1986!
Yeah, I heard you.
I'm ready to not be dead. I'm like so close to not being dead. Magneto stands behind Charles Xavier's desk and does his best to introduce himself to the New Mutants as their new instructor and warden. He gives a big speech about it, and he ends it with, "My name is Magneto."
Yeah.
It's like, guys, or dude, if you didn't want to sound like the villain, you probably shouldn't have ended that way.
I actually love this. Yeah, I think this is a theme that runs through all these issues we're about to read, where Magneto is trying his best to be a good guy, but is still doing these sort of pointless villain things. And one of them is ending a speech with, "I am Magneto."
And he stands in front of a backlit window, so he's covered in shadow. And just like, he's used to doing that.
Yeah.
That's just what he's always done. They, of course, object. He's a supervillain. Arch rival of the X-Men. He pleads with them just for time to prove himself, that he's reformed and considers this responsibility his redemption. He's like, you guys are a test for me.
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting, it's not a thing you should say to children, but I think that it's a really interesting way of looking at this, right? And maybe just because it hasn't been said out loud, but this is him saying, shit, I did a lot of bad things. There has to be some sort of penance here. There has to be, or not even penance, there has to be a way that I can try to balance the scale and make up for some of what I've done. And this is it to him. And giving up his own whatever the fuck he was working on and embracing Xavier's dream.
What made him realize he was an evil man, bad guy, villain guy, or at least the catalyst? You know, we don't know if there's something else going on behind his the eyes, but what made him the catalyst was a bunch of children stuff, right? He almost killed Kitty Pryde. Right. He watched those kids die in
God Loves Man Kills.
God Loves Man Kills. So it makes sense for him to like kids. Like he does believe the corny ass shit that children are the future. But
yeah.
So to prove it, he challenges these guys to a danger room session in their respective locker rooms.
Yeah.
Does that weird you out?
It's just, I didn't know they had boys and girls locker rooms adjacent to the danger room. This is a new room that I don't think we've seen before.
I think, well, because we have seen the X-Men getting ready in the same locker room.
Right.
So I guess when it was kids, they were like, well, we don't want these kids getting excited by their butts and stuff.
That's true. I guess
we can't have kids looking at each other's butts or they'll go crazy.
The original X-Men would never have sex.
But they would, but they just wouldn't let it interfere. I love this one panel. And it's the Mary Wilshire putting character in each of her scenes. Bobby's like frustrated about all the Magneto stuff, and he's just like leaning up against a locker eating a Twinkie. in the background, Warlock is doing his non-existent hair.
He's having a blast in this run.
He's got 2 hair dryers. Well, he's got one that's an actual hair dryer in one hand, and he's turned his other hand into a hair dryer. She does some really good bits with Warlock, but she really doesn't get Warlock. He mostly just looks like a guy in these issues.
Yeah, he's shaped like a man, and then he has because Sienkiewicz is doing the inks, he's got all the circuitry filled in on him.
You almost feel like Mary Wilshire just drew a guy, and then Sienkiewicz was like, no, when he was doing the inks, and drew a bunch of shit coming off of him.
Yeah. He wouldn't be pretending to be a human here.
Yeah. So the guys and the gals in their own locker rooms talk about how they feel. Notably, Sam thinks that Magneto deserves a second chance. Bobby doesn't. Illyana and Amara kind of like him. The two with the penchant for evil. And Danny just doesn't know who to turn to if the professor is gone now that she's a Valkyrie.
I think the only one really justified here in having any say is Illyana, who's like, everybody was pretty sure I'm evil, right? I have have literal evil inside of me.
Yeah.
And we kick ass together.
That's true. It is. She does do that stupid thing where she's like, there's a demon sorceress in me, and as you know, that's pure evil. How is it evil? How is it evil? What evil have you done, Illyana? None! You've only been a hero since you've become a demon. Magneto seemingly in his own private locker room. He's got the biggest ass like bathroom with like a couch in it and stuff.
He's got like a sauna.
It's so crazy.
He goes for a swim and then a steam later.
Did Professor X have this the whole time, but he was too modest to show us? And then when it's Magneto, he's like, look at my sauna. Readers?
Yeah, he's not trying to hide it. He just assumes everyone knows about it.
He's turning to us and being like, look at my solid gold couch in my bathroom. He's stunned at how bad he's sure he is at this. He hasn't done anything yet, but he's sure he's bad at it.
Yeah.
And at the fact that he misses Lee Forrester.
Oh.
Scott's ex-girlfriend.
We
can't stop reminding him of that. That's what's going to turn him into a villain again. Is how often me and you remind him that that's Scott's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I love now that he's taken over. We've been having chats with Magneto.
In the danger room, Magneto immediately kicks Doug out.
He's so pissed.
And then absolutely wrecks the rest of the team. Doug, meanwhile, goes crying to Tom Corsi and Sharon Friedlander about how unappreciated he feels.
Tom and Sharon!
They're back!
I guess they've been just like hanging out doing odd jobs in the mansion this whole time, and we just haven't seen them in a while.
I think like Tom is their mechanic and Sharon is their nurse. But we've never seen that.
We haven't needed to. They've been working on it all between the panels.
They've been doing their job so well, we haven't even needed to see them on panel. It's like that.
A good mechanic.
If superheroes really did their jobs well, we would never need to read stories about them.
Right. We wouldn't even know. We just assume that this is how life goes.
Exactly. Pat.
Oh my God, it's happening right now.
It's happening right now in our world. Doug, when Doug yells to Sharon and Tom, he chucks an Xavier's jacket at them.
Yeah.
Where did he get this fucking thing? He wasn't wearing it in the previous panel. we've never seen a character wear it before.
I know, it's like a Letterman's jacket, and then later Danny is wearing a yellow t-shirt that has Xavier School written across the front. When did they start merchandising?
Yeah, when did they open up? Xavier decided he needed some extra money, so he opened up a school store
for his 5 students.
Because when their parents visit, they'll buy the merch for their kids.
Yeah.
A humbled team later convenes at Harry's hideout, still debating whether they can trust Magneto or not. What choice do they have? Quit and leave the school? Shan might. Bobby might. Only Danny stays quiet, consumed by her own thoughts. She opts to walk home alone while the rest of the team rides back with Sharon. Okay, let's talk about the Danger Room session before we get to this shitty thing. Because there's a lot of things that happen in the Danger Room fight that we didn't know people could do. First off, Magneto encases Cannonball in a cocoon of metal.
Yes.
Cool. We knew we could do that. Magma then says she's like, I'll melt it off your body, but I'll be careful so I don't hit your skin.
No, that seems like it's metal.
Is it possible? Is it even vaguely possible to melt metal off a human body without boiling them alive?
Right.
The next thing is Karma tries to possess Magneto, and he uses his magnetic powers to reflect her possession off of himself, and so she possesses Bobby instead.
Sure. Yeah. Mirrors are metal? Is that right? Mirrors are a type of metal?
Mirrors, I guess, are glass with used to be silver behind them, but then just like aluminum, I think. Some reflecting surface. I think.
Never had to think about it.
But yeah, like there's so many reasons that doesn't make sense. If you're trying to possess somebody, why would magnets have anything to do with it? But second of all, you couldn't reflect it and be like, haha, you're possessing somebody else now. You would just say, no, I won't.
It didn't work.
Okay, won't do it then. Okay, you can't make me do it to someone else. I just won't do it. Because you would assume possession is like, it's not just like it's not just like I'm snapping my fingers. It's like you are worming your way into the mind of somebody else. So once you see it's Bobby's mind, you'd be like, oh, I'll stop.
Yeah, she can stop possessing someone anytime she wants.
Right. Ridiculous.
The craziest thing to me is at the end, Magneto lets them get close, like lets them think they have him. And then he's like, oh, until I just let out such a powerful burst of energy that I reverse gravity in the room and they all go flying in the other direction. He can do that?
Yeah, he reaches all the way down to the Earth's core. What you don't see is at that moment, millions of people die around the globe.
He's reversed polarity on the
entire world. The entire Earth has lost its gravity field. And all right, we have to talk about it. A few frat bros catch Danny leaving by herself, though, and decide to follow because she's a, quote, cutie. Moments later, when she's out of view of Harry's, Danny's accosted by these dickbags. They grab her, tell her she's pretty, and start pinning her to the ground. When a winged white horse descends from the sky and trashes their car, sending them running. Brightwind, Danny's Valkyrie horse, picks her up and carries her back home.
It was pretty cool.
It was cool. I don't know that we needed an attempted rape scene.
They don't get too graphic about it, right? It's just she's walking down a lonely road and they start getting rough with her and
they're like, hey,
telling her she's pretty.
Do you want to party? You're cute. Let's hold you down, right? Like, you understand what is happening. But yeah, maybe if you're a kid, you don't. Maybe you think they're robbing her or something.
Sure.
It's just like, I don't know that we needed that in a comic book about children, but whatever. When they get back, Magneto and Tom Corsi greet them, noticing Danny's injuries and the chips of paint on Brightwind's hooves. And they put together what happened. Tom wants to call the cops, but Magneto says he'll handle it and asks Brightwind to help him track down the assailants. Let's note that here. They do not call the police. They do not report this. They do not. That is important for later. Rain, meanwhile, activates her psychic link with Danny and explains what happened to her to the rest of the gang. Privacy violation.
Yeah. I mean, she could have asked when that psychic link was established.
That's true. Desperate to help and jealous that Magneto is the one going to take revenge, they all hop in a helicopterized warlock and follow Magneto and the horse. A couple things. I like that Magneto's riding Brightwind. Magneto riding a winged horse is fun.
It's pretty cool.
Number 2, Warlock starts making the whoop, 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 whoop sound that a helicopter does, and he can't understand why helicopters make that noise. And he's like, are they trying to communicate? And they're like, why don't you go talk to a helicopter and ask it? And he's like, okay, I will.
It would work. He talked to the Blackbird.
That's right. We don't know that the Blackbird talked back.
In his head, it worked.
Remember when he tried to talk to the refrigerator to ask why it keeps its own food inside of it?
Yes, yeah.
Brightwind tracks the scumbags down to a frat house where Magneto,
of course,
where Magneto confirms the damage to their car. The New Mutants arrive a moment later, at a distance and trying to stay unseen. Magneto knocks their door in with a magnetic bolt, announcing, "Less than an hour ago, you assaulted a young woman. That crime shall not go unpunished."
See, he's still doing the supervillain shit. He bursts the door open. He's again backlit, just standing there as a silhouette, but very menacing, and his shadows spreading across them.
This crime shall not go unpunished. And
That's right, yeah.
Styling his eyebrows like a supervillain.
Yes, he's got the wisps coming off of him.
They all pick up weapons and jump to attack, but this is fucking Magneto. He renders their weapons inert and tells them what pieces of shit they are.
The one guy jumps at him with a crowbar. With his mind, of course, Magneto bends the crowbar into like a U shape and then uses it to pin this guy to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Second guy steps up with a gun. Magneto just dissolves the gun. He pulls the metal apart and destroys it.
What guy just do to the third guy. The third guy's coming at him with his hands.
Just jumps at him. Doesn't have anything metal. So Magneto picks up a bunch of thumbtacks, it looks like, and just points them at him like a wall of thumbtacks in front of you.
Yeah,
and dares him to walk forward.
He uses them to pin the guy's shirt to the wall.
Yeah.
And that's the guy who is most scared, I want to say. We should mention that is the guy who ends up the most scared out of any of them. He explains that he was once a piece of shit too. Slick back hair, sloppy steaks. And were he still, he'd disembowel them. But he's changed, and in his effort to be better, he just wants them to know he could have killed them. And if they do this again, someone just might. He returns to the mansion, followed by the rest of the team, who try to sneak in behind him. He catches them, but just tells them it's past their bedtime with a little wink. As they scamper up the steps, he hears them talking about how cool he is. The end.
It's a good moment at the end where he's a little proud of them for having followed him, and also knows that he just did something that gets him points. So he's got a little brandy snifter out and he's like, I think it's past your bedtime.
There's also a reflection of Xavier in the brandy snifter. Well, I thought that was super corny until I realized earlier in the issue, opposing Magneto's desk is a big picture
portrait that he stands in front of, and it's like, how could I possibly live up to your legacy?
Yes. So the reflection actually makes sense. My favorite thing that he does when he's facing the frat boys, and he's giving this really rousing speech about how what they did was evil, and how if they keep doing this, they can keep doing this stuff. He's not going to kill them. But if they keep doing this stuff, somebody's going to kill them. This is not a way to live. Even if you're just worried about self-preservation, it's not a way to live. And he tells them that he's very sad. He's like, I am reformed and very sad and am a man of mercy.
That must be terrifying. Like, that's the point where it starts turning. You're like, okay, this guy's saying he's not going to kill us. And then he's like, out of nowhere, he adds, also, I'm very sad.
And you're like, oh, fuck, like, I'm dead.
Oh, no, he is going to kill us.
I'm dead. Why did he tell them he's sad? He just needs to tell somebody. He doesn't have
He does, yeah. Who else is he going to talk to?
Brightwind?
Okay. Matt.
Whoa. Sounds
now that that's over with.
I thought it was a good issue. I don't know.
Shut your damn mouth.
This guy, do you guys hear how he's talking to me?
Like a moment even.
Do you guys hear this shit?
While I take some responsibility around here and tell you about New Mutants number 36, Subway to Salvation. Chris Claremont, writer, Mary Wilshire and Bill Sienkiewicz, artists. Michael Higgins, colorist, Tom Warzikowski, letterer, and Nocenti, editor, and Dumb Gunman, editor-in-chief. Release date, October 22nd, 1985. Cover date, February 1986.
We're getting closer.
To what? Bobby DaCosta is struggling under a massive weight press in the Danger Room controlled by Professor Magneto. Despite Sharon Friedlander and Tom Corsi's worries, Magneto pushes Bobby to his limits. Bobby himself is angry. Why does he have to get even stronger? He's not here to become an X-Man, just to control his powers. In his rage, Bobby smashes the machine and storms off to the locker room to cry and reminisce about Juliana and how fucked up it is that the Beyonder exists.
Initially, I was like, why is Bobby being so weird and different, right? Like, he does want to be an X-Man. What the fuck? And then it's like, oh, of course, it's Beyonder bullshit. It's Beyonder.
Yeah. He met God. Kitty Pryde is studying Norse mythology in the library while Ileana Rasputin rushes across town on the subway to meet her. Oh, they're best friends. Her trip is interrupted when the Beyonder appears in her subway car.
God damn it.
Ileana attacks, but the Beyonder takes her soul sword from her hands and transforms her into the Darkchild once more.
Okay.
Then he changes her back to Ileana, and we cut to the street where the subway car shoots up through the street and into the air.
Pat, what's this guy friggin' even up to?
I'll tell you, look, I don't like this guy. I don't like the concept of him or the fact that he has to be here.
Why is he even here?
In Chris Claremont's hands, this dude is fucking menacing.
Yeah, he's better. He's a better guy.
He's scary. This gets scary.
Yeah. I'm scared, in fact, reading it. I'm scared right now.
And also, he understands what's going on with the characters that he's working with, unlike Dumb Stupid.
Yeah. And we're both scared. And we're reading this, we're friggin' hiding under a blanket.
It's the Beyonder, dude. It's Chris Claremont's The Beyonder.
And did you know Ileana? She's a demon and she's evil.
That's right. Also, I will say Mary and Bill here are making him look intimidating. Like, he's got the same general features, the same Jerry curl and like facial structure, but he's like an imposing man.
Scene where Bobby cries over Juliana, very good visually. Scene where Beyonder takes the sword from Ileana, very good visually. This is much better. They're a much better team on this issue than the last issue.
Yeah, they are working in sync. At the library, Kitty is surprised to see the soul sword appear in front of her on the table. She picks it up, and Magic's armor and bloodstone amulet suddenly appear on her body. Seconds later, a bunch of giant demons appear and attack.
Oh, dang it. I'm scared, Pat.
We get ready to get scareder. At the mansion, the rest of the New Mutants are having a fun pool party. Oh, never mind. When two things happen at once. First, they see a bright light in the sky and Cannonball rockets up to meet it. Second, a demon appears and attacks.
It's some fucking master of languages Doug Ramsey over here. He sees the demon and goes, Trey Disgusto. Fucking
he also speaks slang.
This guy can speak any language in the world, and he says, Trey Disgusto.
Trey Disgusto. The second thing, the demon, isn't a problem because Warlock just eats it. But the first thing...
It's really anticlimactic. They make a big deal of it showing up, and then within a page, he's just like, it's dead.
I'll just eat it. It turns out the bright light was Ileana's subway car. The two step out of it, claiming to be enlightened, Sam and Ileana.
What?
They say that the Beyonder wants to make the entire world a peaceful and happy hive mind, and the rest should join. They ask what the hell is up with the demons, and Ileana explains without her guarding the walls between Limbo and Earth, the demons are crossing over to take over the world. No big deal, though, because the Beyonder will make everything better. All they have to do is step onto the subway car.
Pluribus. Pluribus before pluribus.
The New Mutant was what?
You never saw the show Pluribus? It's the Breaking Bad.
No.
The Breaking Bad guy did a show called Pluribus about a big hive mind that takes over.
No,
Earth.
I did not see that.
And it's a really good pilot and a really bad show.
Okay. The New Mutants are all like, hell no. And Warlock blocks the door with his techno-organic body. Ileana tries to convert him, and his brain starts to scramble all up when suddenly a giant demon appears with Kitty dangling from its neck. It's planning to kill her and put her soul into the Bloodstone amulet, and it came here to do it for some reason.
Yeah, why did it come here? Why did it... Yeah.
Where the only person on Earth who could stop it lives.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? You could have... You attacked her in the library, you had her dead to rights, and you were like... I'm gonna go to where Ileana Rasputin is before I do this, just in case she wants to thwart me and destroy me.
But Ileana doesn't want to do anything about it. There's a greater good to consider. The Beyonder told her so. However, when she sees Kitty in pain, she says, "Fuck it." She summons the Dark Child and her soul sword. Sam rockets her up above the demon and then downward as she extends her sword, slashing through the giant.
Whoa. I don't think this is very well drawn, but it is a fucking cool concept.
Yes. Yeah, it's well conveyed, if nothing else.
Largely through the dialogue. Like, I think Chris Claremont saw this page and was like, not all right. I'll explain
let me clarify. Everyone is relieved except Ileana, who knows that she had to accept a giant burden and evil soul back into her body to save the day.
How is it evil? I don't know.
But that burden is lightened by Kitty's gratitude and faith in her best friend. The end.
Very sweet ending panel. It took me a second to even to like fully absorb it too. She's like, "Why so glum?" to Ileana, and she's like, "You did real good. Me, I wasn't worried." And then the last panel is her just saying, "I knew you'd save the day," and I was like,
"Yeah."
And it took me a little bit to understand why that was important enough to be a whole panel. And it's like, because even though against all of Claremont's instincts, Ileana's not expressing it to us. The idea here is that is what keeps Ileana stable and keeps her from going full evil. Her friends have faith in her, and like that's how she's able to shoulder this burden.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting.
Well, Pat, I'm going to keep on rolling if you get the fuck out of my way.
Please. No, by all means. Please. Go right on by.
Excuse me. I got to get by here, and I got to reach New Mutants number 37 if I should die. No, that's the name of it.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still arguing.
No, it's called If I Should Die. Written by Chris Claremont. Mary Wilshire and Bill Sienkiewicz are the artists. Orzakowski and Buhalis are the letters. Glynis Oliver's the colors. And Nocenti's the editor. And the editor-in-chief is Joseph Story, and 1779 to 1845. That one works, actually. Joseph Story works.
Same initials.
Yeah. Release date November 26, 1985. Cover date March 1986. Pat!
We're creeping ever closer to whatever it is you're so excited about, Matt.
Things are good. Everyone's having a good time. The team sits around watching old movies and goofing about while Danny talks. Yeah.
They are watching old John Wayne movies.
Mm-hmm.
And like goofing around, pretending to shoot each other and stuff. But
yeah.
Rain, to her credit, points out how fucking racist these movies are against Native Americans.
Yeah.
And it becomes a talking point for the first half of this issue. Is just like, guys, Danny is right here, and we're watching a movie about John Wayne going and killing a bunch of natives. Like, it's kind of gross that we're doing this and laughing about it.
Yeah, Danny's right there.
Yeah, which is cool. Better than we've done so far.
Better. We're getting Native better.
Americans. Also, is this The Searchers? Is that what they're watching?
I couldn't find any markers in this that would explain. I've never seen The Searchers, but I couldn't find
it's racist. It's really bad.
I couldn't find anything in this scene that marked like to like mark and research what this would be.
Yeah, there's only a few where he was just like going into villages and shooting people up, and that appears to be what he's doing here.
So while this is happening, Danny's talking to her mom on the phone, trying to find the words to explain that she's a Valkyrie now. How do you confess that to your parents? You already had to tell them you're a mutant. You already had to tell them that you killed the demon bear that was them. How do you how do you tell them now I am an ancient Norse semi-deity?
I don't know. At this point, I think you'd be surprised how well they would take it.
Yeah, exactly.
With everything that's happened.
They were the demon bear.
Of course you are, sweetie. We knew you would do it.
It's like, unless it's just that it's a different mythological tradition. And they're like, yeah, we were a Cherokee demon bear. You went ahead and became a Norse mythological creature?
Right.
But before she can get it out, she starts seeing things. Holy forms appear over each member of the team. You put here except notably Bobby, but that's because Bobby is not there.
I mean, yeah, but later she specifically says,
she notes.
Bobby did not have one.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have one.
He doesn't have one. Correct.
Yeah.
But he is not there. And this is something we're going to have to keep noting throughout this is Bobby is conspicuously absent through the rest of these issues.
Right.
It's interesting here that everybody has a different kind of like death deity or death symbol that hangs over them.
Yeah.
Shan is Roman Catholic, so she's got an angel over her. Notably, one of the only religions that takes angels literally.
But
Ileana has a demon over her because she's demon.
Of course. Yeah, she's evil.
Amara is, believes in the Roman religion. So Pluto, who is a character in Marvel Comics, and they have the Marvel Comics Pluto there, and he's standing over her. Rain,
we met him once, didn't we?
Yes.
Defenders, I think.
Champions.
Champions, that's what it was.
Rain, who's Scots Presbyterian, has some lady with a glowing hand and a harp. I did a lot of researching. I could not figure out who the fuck this was supposed to be. It's just a lady.
No researching, and I also could not figure out who this is.
Warlock has some techno-organic god. It might be it looks kind of like Magus, but I just assume it's a techno-organic god.
Yeah.
Sam has Sam, who's a Southern Baptist, has a gloomy preacher with a giant Bible. Looks kind of like the Saint of Killers from Preacher. And then Doug just has the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Is
he an atheist?
Well, where does the Grim Reaper come from?
That's a good question.
Does that have cultural origins?
Romance cultures. I don't think
14th century European art.
It doesn't look like anyone believes in it. I think the Grim Reaper is just has
always been symbolic.
Yeah, has just been symbolic. I don't think anyone actually believes that the Grim Reaper shows up to take you away.
Well, then I don't know what he believes in. Maybe he just saw it one day and he's like, that's real.
Yeah, just because he knows languages doesn't mean he's smart. He could be of the New Mutants. Anyway, as you would, she runs off in a panic, but finds herself in front of a mirror. Her reflection is her at first, but wearing full Valkyrie gear. But it slowly morphs into Hela, Norse goddess of death.
Oh, do you remember her from the Thor movie?
She tells Danny that what she's seeing is the impending death of all of her friends.
Eesh.
Still panicking, she hops on Brightwind and rides it high into the sky, reflecting on a story her grandfather once told her. The Cheyenne, he told her, had become too proud, and the white man was sent to humble them. They waged war ruthlessly, not stopping for victory, slaughtering without care, while the Cheyenne relied on symbolic victories to represent death. Quote, the whites had no shame. All they cared about is winning, and since they did, who is to say which is the better path? So what's being talked about here?
Yeah.
You say first how you're...
This is interesting. I don't think this is meant to be like he is putting Black Eagle in the position of somebody who was reflected on all this over time and said, what lesson can I pull from this? So this is not like a way to throw blame around as much as it is him saying like, look, our people were wiped out.
Right.
Why did that happen? White people is why it happened, but what could we have done better to have prevented it? And it's interesting to be like, hey, we considered ourselves the lords of the land and were quickly taught that we weren't.
Yeah. This was, and that's a little more in keeping with modern Native American historiography, right? Is giving the Native Americans agency in what happened and talking about their successes and failures, right? Like a lot of tribes or members of tribes made the conscious decision to merge with the white settlers, to make deals with them or to surrender to them, right? Like these weren't just like, this didn't just happen because the white people were so strong and powerful and smart and good. Good, but evil or good, or however you view them. It happened because these were like negotiations and active decisions. There's a really good book, An Indigenous Peoples History of the United States by Roxanne Dunbar-Ortiz. If I remember it, I will record it.
You should read it.
I'll record it and send it to Pat, and he'll edit it in right here.
God damn it. I'll write it into the show notes.
But he does mention a concept here called counting coup. Do you know what counting coup is?
I do, but why don't you explain it for all the people who don't?
Okay. So counting coup, it's a real thing. Black Eagle describes it here as you touch your foe, show how easily you could have killed but chose not to, and thereby shame him, which is kind of true. That's kind of a real thing. But it's important to note that counting coup, it's not always just touching somebody and riding away. It could be disarming them. It could be stealing their horses or their weapons or their
resources or whatever.
Resources. It could be touching the first enemy to die in battle, like touching their corpse is a type of counting coup. You're not shaming. Okay. You're shaming them, but you're also shaming all the other people who lost the war. Yeah. It's important to recognize this existed alongside all the brutal acts of warfare,
actual warfare
that happened. But this was a specifically Great Plains societies did this. But this was a real thing, right? That was a real thing that some people did in various ways, but it did happen exactly how it's represented here. You could approach somebody in a battle, touch them, and not be violent towards them, and that would shame the person, and that is counting coup.
That is, you could consider the battle won having done that.
Or at least, even whether you win or lose the battle, that person is shamed. That person is cucked by you.
Okay. Oh, all right.
So,
and then, so we're still wading a little bit into Noble Savage stuff here, right? Where he's like, they never fought actual wars. They were 100% peaceful. And
which is why, yes, exactly. Which is why I'm clarifying. Sometimes you could count coup and kill the person at the also.
Yeah.
And if you counted coup in a battle, that doesn't mean that you and your friends weren't also killing everyone around that person you counted coup on. So
sure.
It's not, but it is an interesting tradition, and it was notably used. I don't know much about this story because I fucking hate World War II history stuff, but Joe Medicine Crow in World War II notably did something similar to a German soldier. So look that story up. Anyway, she's up there. She's thinking about her grandfather, and Sam bursts through the clouds at that moment, having found Danny, just hoping she's okay.
It's the art here is so cool. Him like popping out of a burst of clouds, they creating like a little hole in the clouds in his rocket form, and Danny's just sitting there on one of the clouds atop her winged horse.
It's kind of like it's got that sacred geometry look where on the right side you have these big clouds, on the left side and kind of lower you have Danny on her horse, and its wings are stretched out along the left side of the panel, and Sam is kind of doing a curve and he's just off center, and it's got that spiral.
He's doing a parabola.
She's comforted by his effort and flies back with him, but doesn't see how she can explain that everyone is going to die.
Yeah, that's tough.
Man, everybody's going through such tough stuff. Meanwhile, Bobby's limo is stuck in traffic. In Midtown Manhattan, he gets out to see what the issue is and finds the police scrambling to rescue a woman who had a bulldozer fall on her.
Just fell over on top of her.
She's having a rough day. Oh, frick. I knew something.
First, I spilled my coffee.
I knew something like this was going to happen today. He tears off his shirt to reveal his new mutant's uniform and summons all his strength to lift until She-Hulk shows up and just picks the whole damn thing up herself. She deservedly gets all the credit and attention as Bobby mopes off. He resigns to return home to Brazil.
There's one police officer that initially when he showed up was like, I don't want you helping if you're one of those muties. As Bobby is walking away, he's like, hey kid, I saw what you did out there, and I'll tell you what, you muties, you're all right in my book.
Oh man, that sucks. That's gotta suck. That's like the worst compliment.
Insult to injury. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But don't touch me.
You're allowed to save lives.
Walk on that side of the street, but you can save any life that you want. As Danny and Sam arrive back at the mansion, they spot an unwanted visitor at the front door. It's the Beyonder.
No, remember, we like the Beyonder in these comics.
Yeah, Claremont writes the Beyonder 1,000 times better than...
As, like, a god that you have to fight.
Yeah. He's pretty upset at them for rejecting the paradise he offered. Remember that subway car?
Yeah.
I sent a whole subway car to you guys.
And just because of the demons.
He clearly plans to punish them for it. Ileana steps forward, taking responsibility for the refusal and asking that he only punish her. Without a word, he atomizes her, and she's fucking gone.
Jesus Christ.
Instinctively, they attack him, but it's useless. Danny tries to probe his mind for his greatest fear, but is overwhelmed with new perceptions. Karma tries to possess him before the psychic link kills Danny. It saves Danny, but the psychic force it's reflected back to Karma with kills her. This bugs me.
Yeesh.
Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt the drama here. This is a very dramatic moment, but like...
Yeah, it seems written pretty dramatically and really well paced, too.
You think?
Yeah. With the right delivery.
It bugs me that they gave Karma this cool power.
Yeah.
And it's been literal years since she's been able to just use it like normal?
Right. It's ridiculous that Magneto was able to reflect it. It makes sense here because the Beyonder's brain is so crazy, sick and twisted. It's like the South Park guys. It's so sick. Fried. It's Rick and Morty style.
It's Rick and Morty. Yeah. It makes sense. It's just a bummer that we like. Are we ever going to see Karma just
have some success?
Karma stuff again?
Yeah.
Anyway, Karma's dead, so I guess not. Danny comes to see her vision coming true. They put up a pretty good second effort and think they defeat the Beyonder. But he's actually just pretending.
Nah.
Without a thought, he removes Magma's powers and then opens up a pit beneath her. Sam flies in to save her, and then the Beyonder seals the top of the pit off and collapses the walls around them, suffocating them.
Jesus Christ.
This is such a good... That is Sam's like deepest fear, right? Getting trapped in the mines.
Yeah.
And not being able to blast out or save the person that he was trying to save. And then Amara, it's like she is now master of the earth and to be killed by the earth. Like, what a smart idea on Claremont's part to just be like, this is basically...
Here's in the Venn diagram of their greatest fears.
I can
the
make
overlap
this,
that
I
will
can make
kill
this
both of them.
So fucked up for both of them. Using my fucked up brain.
You don't want to look in there.
Yeah. You don't want to know what this guy can do. One by one, the Beyonder kills Warlock, Doug, then Rain, while Danny is powerless to stop him. She wonders if they too were too proud and the Beyonder sent to punish them.
Ooh. That's why it's important to cover the story her grandfather told her.
Well, yes, but then Danny tells him to go fuck himself. He tells her to shut the fuck up. This isn't in this recap for some reason. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't understand the significance of it.
You didn't understand the significance of it, you mean?
But Danny flies up and touches the Beyonder on his back.
Oh, you must have missed that.
And shouts.
That is a good detail, though.
And she shouts, "Today is a good day to die," and he disintegrates her. So she counts coup. He kills her. And there's a couple panels here that are fucking wild. One is Danny flying towards the Beyonder, and it's just a sort of full body and face of her crying, and Brightwing's wing in the background, and she's saying this is wrong, and it's a heartbreaking little panel. And then after she counts coup, after she touches the Beyonder, Brightwind is flying away, and Danny's like ashes are trickling off of him.
I think that was pretty concisely covered in Danny tells him to go fuck himself. He tells her to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's what counting coup is. If you can tell your enemy to shut the fuck up before
you shut the fuck up.
That's how the Sopranos count coup.
Yeah.
But anyway, as she disintegrates, like she knows she has won, right? The Beyonder has not diminished her pride. She has shown him, look, you might have killed all my friends and me, but I touched you, right? I have my dignity. You haven't taken that from me. What you've won is a Pyrrhic victory. Bye, I'm dead. He waves his hand and all memory of them is wiped from the world. Nothing remains. He's wiped their existence away from the time stream.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So now is a good time to say we saw this in Secret Wars 2. If for some reason you didn't listen to the Secret Wars 2 episode,
can't imagine why you wouldn't.
At some point, we learned that all the New Mutants had died.
Do you think they might not have listened to it because we had been talking for months about how terrible Secret Wars 2 is going to be and how much we weren't looking forward to that episode?
No, I think that just drives people.
That would make me want to listen to it, but I don't know if I'm just built a little different in my fucked up brain.
Anyway, this is the point at which they die. And I'll tell you, I knew it had to be dramatic in some way. I didn't realize it was going to be this, like, upsetting to watch him just actually kill each of the New Mutants one by one.
Right.
Yeesh.
It's incredibly well done. And I think, again, noble savage stuff aside, the counting coup thing was a fucking incredible touch.
Yeah. Really good theme to run through.
To have Claremont being like, okay, Jum Shumper just left this note on my desk saying, kill all the New Mutants, thanks, bye. And he's like, fuck, what can I do in response? And he's like, well, I'm going to give the victory to Danny, even if the Beyonder kills everybody.
Kills them all, yeah.
And it's really, I think that's really poignant.
A really great sort of parallel to how Claremont clearly feels about the Beyonder's interference here, right? Like, he just shows up at their door, literally out of nowhere. He just appears and is like, we have to fight again. Let
me extend that. He tries to give them a gift, and they're like, this gift sucks. And he's like, you didn't take my gift? Fine, I'm killing all of you.
Yes.
Right? Like, I have a great story for you, Chrissy baby. I came up with this whole good thing about what the Beyonder can do to the New Mutants. And Chris is like, what?
Hey, I'm going to undo it in two pages.
He's like, no, this isn't a good story. And so metaphorically, Junk Shunker murders his team.
Yeah. And then they throw everything they have at him, and he rebuffs every single one until he's just like, okay, are you done having fun? Because I'm running out of time. I have to bring the hammer down on all of you right now.
Yeah. Boy, well, how is there... So there's no more New Mutants?
No, Matt.
What?
If you listened to our Secret Wars 2 episode, you would know. He brought them back to life through his birthing machine, and then I believe Rachel Summers reached into one of their minds and was like, oh, he did some fucked up things to him, and told all the other heroes.
But they didn't then put him through his own birthing machine and make him a baby and then kill him.
Matt, did you listen to our Secret Wars 2 episode?
They wouldn't have done that. That is a crazy thing to have at the end of your story.
That is the crux of the story. They put a man in a birthing machine, turn him into a baby, and then kill him then.
So he births himself from a machine that makes him a little baby, and he doesn't have his powers yet, so they kill him.
Right. You should know this.
I do know this. Don't you wish you didn't know that?
Yeah. This is a lot of knowledge I wish I didn't have, but I've probably forgotten somebody's phone number.
Remember when the Beyonder birth? So you could be at a party and be like, "Hey, remember when the Beyonder birthed himself through his birthing machine and he became a baby, and then all the superheroes in the world killed him?"
And everybody can say, "No." Pat, are you okay?
We go to a lot of parties together. So one of us should just observe from the other side of the room while the other one tries this.
And then at the next party, we reverse it, but do it on the same person. And they'll be like, yeah, actually, I did know that.
Oh, Pat. How could you possibly tell me about another issue when the New Mutants are dead?
Well, Matt, if you had listened to Secret Wars 2, you would know that they're not
Let's
dead.
start it all over again.
All right. Let me cut to the chase here, Matt. I'm going to read to you New Mutants number 38, Aftermath. Chris
all right.
Claremont.
When's math?
No. That's the name of the story. Aftermath.
Oh.
One word.
Okay. I saw it.
Chris Claremont, writer. Rick Leonardi, guest artist.
Math course.
Bill Sienkiewicz, inker. Ken Bruzenak, letterer. Glynis Oliver, colorist and Nocenti editor. And
we could all use a brush up on our math skills.
I got nothing. Editor-in-chief. Release date December 24th, 1985. My first Christmas, Matt. Cover date April 1986. We open. Yes.
We're getting so close.
To what? My second Christmas? We open in the midst of an action-packed battle. The New Mutants are beating the shit out of some Sentinels while Magneto watches, horrified at the danger they must put themselves in. As if in answer, the White Queen and her Hellions show up. The mutants are still winning the day when Magneto comes outside to tell them enough is enough. It's time to stop this and go to bed. So the New Mutants all pull off their costumes and tuck themselves into shallow graves, pulling dirt over their own bodies. Our last images of gravestones on a hillside.
I told you, they're dead. How could you have an issue here?
The next morning...
Huh? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, because...
Magneto tells Sharon Friedlander that the dreams continue to happen.
Dreams? Oh,
this was a dream. This was...
You got me.
I will tell you. I will tell you.
I want you to tell me.
This was...
I demand you tell me.
Chilling. Because this is smarter than I think you might give it credit for based on the reveal here. This is a dream, yes, but you start with the New Mutants in a huge battle with the Sentinels. All of a sudden, the Hellions show up. In your head, you're like, okay, whatever's going on with the New Mutants right now, this is a Danger Room training session. Like, there's no way we're just opening on their two biggest enemies, fighting them without any context around it. And you're right. At some point, the Danger Room illusions turn off, and it's revealed that Magneto is just in the Danger Room talking to the New Mutants. And then he sends them to bed, and they just climb into graves and bury themselves in dirt, which is disturbing in itself. But you thought you were safe. You already guessed the reveal. And then a page later, there's a second one. It's really like they're fucking with you in these issues.
Could you imagine if you were doing real good as a superhero? Like you were doing real superhero shit. And you're like, I am kicking ass. And then you're like, Dad comes out and it's like, all right, Pat. Enough fighting evil. Time to go to bed. Oh, Dad. I was just about to beat the White Queen.
I'm being a real hero.
All right, you can be a hero tomorrow. The White Queen will still be there. That's the problem, Dad. How do you not see that's the problem?
So he continues to have these dreams. He says, unless he breaks the cycle, he's sure it won't stop. Sharon tries to implore him to eat and delivers him a letter from Emma Frost just before the kids come down to the breakfast table. They all sit in silence. No one eating. No one talking. Most staring down at the table forlorn. The New Mutants are rightfully traumatized by their own deaths at the hand of the Beyonder.
Yeah, man, you would be. Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, it's so fucked up. It's fucked up.
It's all so bleak.
Mm-hmm.
Also, turns out
funny.
No, it's
sorry. I thought I knew where you're going.
It's really light, especially after the end of we watched them all die, and then we got this weird surprise at the beginning of this issue, and then when we actually see them, they're still they're all fucked up. They're just these little soulless idiots. Yeah,
they're idiots.
So stupid.
If I got killed by the Beyonder, and I got back to life, I'd be like, whatever. What's on TV? Give me a Sunday.
Here's something interesting though. They're told that the Beyonder is dead. They were told that after that whole experience, the Beyonder died.
Is that not what you took from that?
No. He went back and made his own Big Bang in his own universe.
I thought he kind of became that universe. So
but he
as
already
an entity,
was that
he's
universe.
Dead. Oh, yeah, that's true. But now he's humans in that universe.
Yes. All of them.
I win.
No, I don't think so. Late that night,
Wait a minute! Is that the new universe that happens in Marvel?
Oh.
I never thought about that, but they happen so close together, and they're both Gypsies initiatives. Fuck, man.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's all right. It's not your fault.
Late that night, Magneto pours himself a drink in the dark, thinking of how he's failing these children.
Relatable content.
He's failing his promise to his old friend Charles. Suddenly, a match lights and Emma Frost is sitting at his desk lighting a cigarette. So cool. She offers to psychically dampen the kids' trauma and accept them into the Massachusetts Academy. She even promises not to pressure them into the Hellfire Club, but Magneto refuses and throws her out.
But she promises.
I promise I won't put him in the Hellfire Club.
I promise I won't put him in the Hellfire Club.
The next day is no better. Bobby is still gone. Cannonball is failing both in the Danger Room and in his studies. Rain, Ileana, Doug, and Amara are sucking at their dance lessons. And Magneto's flares of disappointment and anger only seem to make things worse and drive the kids away. Stevie sets him right. He yells at the kids for being bad at dance class, and she's like, don't talk to my kids that way.
Yeah. This is my fucking dance class, dude. You made Ileana go to hell. That's so funny is when Ileana gets mad at you, she goes to hell. You made her go to hell. You made her go to hell.
In the carriage house, Dami Moonstar pours her heart out to Brightwind. She watched all her friends die and could do nothing Then the Beyonder brought them all back as toys, as tools, as weapons. Despite the fact that the Beyonder is dead, she no longer has faith in her abilities, her friends' abilities, or life itself.
Fuck.
Then a glowing frog shows up, and it's Thor, and he tells her to cheer up and hops away. So, important editor's note that we get here. Thor is currently a frog in Walt Simonson's run. So
it's a super dramatic moment where she's like, I don't know what to do, and I failed everybody, and a frog,
a glowing frog.
Hi, I'm Thor. Don't be sad. Bye. Hop, 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 hop.
I think it's a cute. So first of all, she just needs to get a vision from Thor, right? To be like, hey, I'm a massive good guy, and I also appreciate the work that you do. But because of what's going on in the actual Thor comics at the time, he just has to appear as a frog, and then like a vision of his head appears. And Danny is automatically like, okay, how can I help you not be a frog? This seems like a problem for you. And he bounces out, and Danny has to come to the understanding of like, oh, even as a frog, even as a man who's just been transformed into a frog, he came to me to be like, hey, buck up, kid.
Yeah.
He doesn't want my help. Wow. It's cute.
Still fucking weird. Still a fucking weird scene.
Oh, yeah. A week later, the gang attend a dance at the Salem Center High School. Magneto, posing as Charles Xavier's cousin, Michael Xavier, attends as chaperone and worries as the students fail to even socialize. Sorry.
Yeah, what's wrong?
You are now going... The most reasonable cover for why you are the next in command that you have is that you are his, quote, mysterious older cousin, Michael Xavier.
So do you remember when we went to the same high school, and do you remember in high school when our principal disappeared? And so obviously the next in line to take his job was his cousin. Oh, that's what happens.
Also, it seems we'll find out through later issues that I can't imagine it's mentioned in recaps, but him being Michael Xavier, Charles Xavier's mysterious older cousin, is built into a number of systems around the house, which makes me think that Xavier is the one who came up with this cover and insisted that Magneto was older than him. This is my mysterious older cousin.
Yes, that is confirmed here when he's talking to the principal of the other school, of Salem Center High School, and she's the one who calls him his mysterious older cousin.
Yeah.
And Magneto is like, I'm not mysterious. And then he thinks to himself, God, thanks a lot, Xavier. Thanks for giving me this cool identity, dude. I'm so fucking glad you did this to me.
How am I supposed to explain to people that I'm older than you? I'm currently 30 years old.
That's true. But he does have white hair, so.
That night, Magneto sits at his desk when all of a sudden his chair comes to life.
What?
It's Warlock.
Oh.
He wanted to talk and didn't know the best way to initiate it, so he did that.
Of course.
He's confused as to why his friends are all acting weird. He too was dead, but he got better. So what's the deal? But Magneto has no guidance to give.
That's so Warlock to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, we were all dead and didn't exist anymore.
But now we do.
We exist now. So why is everyone being so fucking weird about it?
Warlock turns back into the chair quickly as Doug Ramsey's parents enter the room. Ooh. They explain that Doug is unhappy and they're considering pulling him out of the school.
Oh, it's so sad. They can never know who their son's best friend is.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a techno-organic alien. But, you know, there's like soulmates, those two. And they man.
He can never introduce him to his parents and be like, this is my friend and roommate.
This is my friend. We are life mates. We saved each other's lives, and sometimes we become the same being.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Empath watches from a hill outside.
Fuck him.
Apparently, he's been using his powers to deepen Magneto's confusion and doubts.
Fuck.
At that moment, he's caught by Sharon and Tom. They demand he follows them inside to talk to Magneto, but Empath has a different idea. He makes them forget him and fall instantly, passionately in love with one another.
Ew. Oh, God.
He pulls his binoculars back on to watch as Magneto makes a final decision.
They just start
making out. And then
crazy making out. Like they collapse in the snow making out. It's really disturbing.
And he told them to go until they die. How's the way he says it?
Oh, they say, see how he is disgusted by the way they go after each other. And he says, see how easily you are consumed by a love that defies description, a bestial passion that will not die until it has drained you utterly.
Yes. He says bone to death.
And he did it. And he's disgusted by them for it. He's such a fucking shithead. And like
out of his mind.
There's almost no distinction between this and like a sexual assault.
Yeah. The next morning, Magneto calls all the New Mutants except Bobby, who's still gone, into his office where Emma Frost has joined him.
What?
Effective immediately, he's transferring them all to the Massachusetts Academy and closing Xavier's school. Danny is the only one who refuses, and the rest of the mutants quietly accept their fate. To be continued.
Do we know how much Empath affected here, right? Like we know he's manipulated Magneto.
Right.
And he's made him more confused, more doubtful, all that. Do we know if he has helped deepen the New Mutants' depression here?
I don't think so, because as soon as we see him at the start of the next issue, they're still like kind of husks of people. Yeah. And what we didn't mention here is the reason Danny's not the reason Danny's objecting is because she worked through her shit. She like came to terms with everything and was like,
because of the frog that
I
is
can be
in her barn.
Well, yeah, but so that's like had Empath been suppressing her still, she wouldn't have had the ability to do that, right?
Well, you can overcome Empath's shit.
Yeah, that's true.
All he does is influence. Usually feelings that are there on some level. When he tries to completely change somebody's mind or feelings, he usually fails at it. Not always, but usually.
Sure.
So far anyway. But I think you're right, but it would position, if Emma Frost is like, I'm going to fix you guys, it would put her in a position to become the hero. The good guy, to gain their trust.
But she has the same problem. We'll find out in the very beginning of the next issue. Is she's like, the fuck's wrong with these kids?
Yeah, I agree. I do want to revisit it again a little bit later because I think it's worth at least thinking about. But I think you're right.
Me too.
But let's move forward to New Mutants number 39, Pawns of the White Queen. Not a very hopeful,
subtle.
Writer Chris Claremont, Keith Pollard, guest penciler Del Barris, guest inker. Never heard of this guy. Tom Orzechowski, letterist. Glynis Oliver, colorer. Ann Nocenti, editor, and Joe Smith Thompson, 1768 to 1843, editor in chief. Release date January 28th, 1986. Cover date May 1986.
My first birthday.
Okay.
Thank you.
Emma Frost. We're on a first name basis, but
yeah, just for the listeners.
Miss Frost to you guys. Emma welcomes the gang to the Massachusetts Academy and ranks of the Hellions, promising them they're in safe hands now. They just stare on with blank expressions until she dismisses them, wondering why they're so broken.
What the
She starts
fuck is
planning the
wrong with these kids?
She starts planning the massive psychic surgeries she'll have to perform to fix them. Hey, better put on my loose corset with nothing underneath and my skin-tight white leather to go talk to my new child students.
Matt, you know that at all times, this is what she's wearing. She has just stopped trying to project other clothes on top of her.
Isn't it so wild that this is something that we are all just like, yeah, that's the White Queen. Yeah, sure, that's the White Queen. We just accept it about her.
Oh, that woman in full white lingerie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, her two favorite things are teaching children and walking around in underwear.
Yeah.
And she usually does them at the same time. No big deal.
I don't even notice it anymore.
Why shouldn't a person combine their two passions? Wearing underwear, teaching kids. The existing Hellions try to mix it up with their new members, but find the New Mutants to be just as emotionless, to the degree that Empath can't even influence them.
Yeah, he's trying to be a creep.
Point to the Empath side, unless he just did his job so well.
There's a weird... Massachusetts Academy underground training room also has boys and girls separated locker rooms, as it turns out.
But they're very big, way bigger than they need to be.
Yeah. An Empath is in there trying to charm the girls, and it doesn't work. But Ileana shows up, pops in, and is like, "I think you were just leaving."
So magic scares him and knocks him over, and then but the existing Hellions come out, and they seem like they've already dealt with this.
Yes,
to the point where like he knows not to do this to them, and they're like, "How fucking dare you!" And they beat his ass.
Yeah.
That's good, but it's also like, God damn it, this guy sucks so bad. Back in Westchester, Magneto looks over the new Massachusetts Academy school photos side by side with his own group photo with the New Mutants, and thinks about what a failure he is.
I got this group photo of the New Mutants with Magneto, which could only have been taken in the span of like 3 days, right?
Right.
It's adorable. Well, they're all making goofy faces and like posing for a funny picture while he just stands there with them. It's really cute.
I think, especially after this next scene that we're about to get to, I think this issue is supposed to imply that the New Mutants and Magneto have spent way more time together between issues than we think. Yeah. Because downstairs, Danny is turning her power on herself, showing herself her greatest desire. The New Mutants having a fun and enriching time in the Danger Room under Magneto's tutelage.
Oh.
She's like remembering what it looked like to see Magneto not tell them he's proud of them, but slightly smile when they do something good.
Yes, yeah.
She says disgusto again. What the fuck is happening, Pat?
It's probably something he heard at a shopping mall. It was like, kids say it.
He misheard it. It was somebody saying disgusting, but like there was another noise going on, and he was like, "Oh,
that's good.
Disgusto." Pat, she says the thing Danny says after she does this whole thing is, this is the way it could have been had we never met the Beyonder.
Right.
This is 100% Chris Claremont saying, I had a fucking plan for the New Mutants and I was building to something, and you made me interrupt that plan to do your dumb Beyonder shit. And now I have to change my plan completely. Right?
Yeah.
This is him expressing how his book would have been a different book. Yes, my book, this is what I was going to do. I was going to have the New Mutants continue to learn to work as a team and slowly learn to accept Magneto as their mentor. But I can't do that now because you've made me kill them all and bring them back to life, and I'm supposed to just go back to my normal story without dealing with the consequences of that? Are you fucking kidding me?
And that's the other thing that we're dealing with here is Chris Claremont clearly writing his way out of a depression. And that's like him just describing through different characters the symptoms of depression and the steps that you have to take to try to break out of it. So clearly this threw him into some sort of spiral. This is also like around the X Factor debut, right? So is around when he would have learned that things weren't going his way exactly. I think that's bigger than just Secret Wars 2. This is him saying like, I fucking hate this job. What am I doing?
I think, yes, I think that's there. I think like it's just so one-to-one. Him being like, if we had never met the Beyonder, this is what would be happening.
Yeah.
Is like so clearly like, if I didn't have to, I wish I didn't have to put the Beyonder in this
said
book,
it out loud.
I had a plan, right? Yeah, exactly. Later, back in reality, Emma is wrapping up her psychic surgery, shocked at the trauma the New Mutants have endured. Rain wakes up, the last of the team to get fixed, and very happily returns to her equally cheerful teammates. They all love Emma Frost for lifting them out of their depression and promise they won't let her down. Just one problem. They're all having terrible screaming nightmares they can't remember at all. Except for Ileana, who's just been going to limbo at night instead of sleeping.
Oh, that'll fix it.
Normal. Meanwhile, Danny berates Magneto for wallowing in his failure, drinking nonstop, and letting the mansion fall into disrepair. She begs him to try to fight his way out of it, to reopen the school, but he won't. And so she decides to return home.
Oh.
She says her goodbyes to Stevie and Warlock. She also says chomping at the bit. It's champing!
Is it?
It is! But she's unable to find Tom or Sharon to say goodbye to them. She flies off to figure out who she is, what she wants to do. Had she stuck around a little longer, though, she would have found Tom and Sharon, who returned from the woods, dressed in weird bondage gear and dying from exposure.
Oh, no.
In the infirmary, they explain what happened. They tried to bone each other to death until they were both so resentful of Empath for making them do this that they were able to stop. Magneto immediately puts the pieces together and starts raging. He goes down to the danger room and starts blowing things up, including giant effigies he makes of Empath and his mentor, Emma Frost. It's time for him to correct this situation. I'm going to go fix this, but first, I have to go make pictures of those people that I'm mad at and blow them up.
He's tearing the danger room apart, too. Like, he's tearing the metal off the walls to form these giant busts of people that he hates so that he can shoot them with his magnets.
When Tom and Sharon come in, he's like, he thinks there's like invaders and he's like, halt intruders, but he's in the shower. So he's just like nude holding his shaving razor.
Which he could fucking kill you with.
Yeah. Magneto nude is more threatening than the Punisher with all of his weapons. He also, this is interesting. He also realizes at this moment that Empath fucked with his emotions. He's also like, and he made me doubt myself, and that's why I did something so out of character as letting the New Mutants go.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting to note this is what happens when somebody fucks with Magneto's emotions, which I want us to keep in our heads.
That he gets
when somebody
very upset,
fucks with Magneto's emotions, he gets instantly rages and gets murderous.
Okay.
Back in Massachusetts, Emma feels his revelation psychically. The Hellions certainly aren't ready to face Magneto, and summoning the Hellfire Club would mean a major loss in her status as the White Queen. No, she's got a much simpler idea. She calls the police on Magneto.
No.
To be continued. White lady privilege, am I right?
I am on the edge of my seat here, Matt. This run where, as the reader, we know that Empath is just manipulating Magneto, and we're waiting for him to figure it out, and just watching them like live miserable lives and just be unhappy. Like, this is building towards a resolution, that it's not just going to be a bunch of depressed, emotionless teens for the next 100 issues or whatever. But
unless they give Bob Layton the book, maybe.
I don't see how it happens. I need to.
Yeah.
I need to find out.
Yeah. Well, why don't we find out?
We can find out right now, Matt. We can
find out right now.
With the last issue.
This was written 40 years ago. We can find out right now.
Let's do it. New Mutants number 40, Avengers Assemble.
Yeah. Well.
You're thinking, to me, my X-Men.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Chris Claremont, writer, Jackson Guici, penciler. This is our 4 issues, 4 different artists. Kyle Baker, inker, Michelle Wrightson, colorist.
Kyle Baker, interesting.
Tom Orzakowski, letterer, Ann Nocenti, editor, and Ham Sandwich, editor-in-chief. Release date February 25th, 1986. Matt.
What?
Cover date
what?
June 1986.
I live. I burst into life. I burst into life out of my mother's womb.
Not only that, Matt, but in the middle of the night, the Avengers get a call from the Snow Valley Police Department.
That's exciting.
They've been told that Magneto intends to kidnap some children from the Massachusetts Academy. The Avengers assemble, disappointed but not shocked that Magneto is up to his old tricks. The Avengers at the moment, of course, are Captain America, Black Knight, Hercules, Captain Marvel, Wasp, and Namor.
And that's the Monica Rambeau Captain Marvel.
Yes, yeah. Real weird era for the...
Carol is still in space. Not the weirdest. I think the next era of the Avengers is the weirdest.
Yeah, it gets worse, but this is still very strange. So I guess living at the mansion right now are Wasp, Cap, Black Knight, and Hercules. And we get a look at all of their pajamas. Wasp wears a sheer lace nightie with her underwear, or the panties and bra. Cap just wears boxers and a tank top, like an undershirt tank top.
Yeah.
The Black Knight, he has a striped pajama set, like a nice, polo Ralph Lauren pajama set.
With his sword. He's got it when he's in his pajamas. He's also got a sword. So he might sleep with his sword.
Custom pajamas so that a sword can go with. And then Hercules, if you had any doubt in your mind, just sleeps nude. He's covering himself up with a sheet as he runs. And then they get on this video screen. It turns out the video screen they have just gives them augmented reality costumes. So anybody watching doesn't see them all in their pajamas. They see them all fully outfitted as the Avengers.
It's funny. Hercules is like apparently is just like whispering in Cap's ear about how boring and stupid Thor is all the time. And so when Captain America says things, he's just like, well, yeah, I guess you're a patient guy if you had to put up with that boring idiot Thor for so long.
Over and over again. In the Massachusetts Academy, Cannonball and Magma train with Jetstream, but they're all chided by M. Frost for doing so without permission. Jetstream explains that the New Mutants haven't been sleeping and have been having nightmares since they got there, and Emma probes the kids' minds to figure out what's wrong. She can't find anything amiss, but something about her psychic surgery must have gone wrong. Meanwhile, Magneto flies into Snow Valley in a big bird jet that's actually just Warlock. Warlock wants to fucking murder the White Queen, but Magneto argues against violence of any kind on their mission and tells Warlock never to absorb any sentient being's life glow ever without exception. He knows this already. Then Hercules smashes him with a mace. The Avengers are here.
The Avengers are here. So he's trying to be the Blackbird, so he's half jet, half bird.
Half bird, yeah. Very cute. Yeah. The Avengers are here, but Magneto is more worried about Warlock. He starts trying to funnel energy into Warlock's dying body, but slowly so as to not overload him. But then the Avengers find him and attack. He wants to lure them away from Warlock, and he wants an explanation. They want him to surrender, but he wants to magnetically pull Black Knight's atomic steed out from under him.
Yeah, yield your persons to our authority, and Magneto's just like, no, and pulls Black Knight's steed out from under him, makes him fall on his butt.
Next time, don't bring a metal horse, idiot.
No.
Magneto gets in some good hits at first, but Namor clocks him hard, and Hercules bear hugs him. They explain that
Namor hates Magneto.
Yes.
I'd forgotten this, but Namor
since the Lee Kirby era, right?
Yes.
When Magneto first tried to recruit him.
Issue 3, I want to say?
The Avengers explain that they're here to stop him from kidnapping kids, and Magneto realizes he's stuck. He can't explain what's really going on without unmasking the New Mutants. So he blasts free, and they all have a big fight, although Cap is suspicious about this whole thing and wants Black Knight to examine the wreckage of the ship. The ship that they don't know was actually Warlock.
Mm.
When Magneto pulls some rock out of the ground to fight Hercules, Magma feels it in a nearby cafeteria. They know Magneto's here, so Magic decides to go check it out. She sees Warlock on the rocks, and when Black Knight notices her, Magneto chucks him away. This causes Captain America to realize that Magneto isn't doing any of them any real harm. He chucks his shield, but Magic opens a portal to catch it. Then she ports away back to the cafeteria, shield in tow, and explains to the others what's happening. This is so cool. Fucking Magic steals Captain America's shield.
And because she's Magic, she doesn't even care. Like, she's not excited by this, or she's not like tickled by it. She's just like, yeah, it's Captain America's shield.
She's enjoying it a little bit because she doesn't just like keep it away somewhere. She continues to carry it around with her and show to everyone that she has Captain America's shield. Like, she understands the status associated with it, even if she's being modest about it. And then, of course, Magic explains to the others what's happening. They don't know what to do, but she tells them she's heading back to help. Meanwhile, the Avengers have gained the upper hand. Magneto is tired and hurt and then drowning after Namor punches him into an icy lake. Seeing his teacher and friend beaten, Warlock gathers the last of his strength to grab all of the Avengers and start sapping their life glow.
Warlock could kill all of the Avengers by himself.
Nuts. Magneto zaps Warlock and tells him to stop, and then he tells the Avengers that they can do whatever they want with him, but to let him heal Warlock first. Cap is confused again, but no time for that now. The New Mutants are here. The kids threaten the damn Avengers and then teleport away with Magneto, even as he protests. Then a few days pass as the White Queen and Magneto team up to nurse the New Mutants back to psychiatric health. Within one page, they're all better, and they want to return to Xavier's school with Magneto as their teacher, except Rain, who wants to go home, and the White Queen walks away with the kids' eternal gratitude. The end.
So that's where it's like, even though their depression put a strain on the White Queen and the Hellions, arguably.
Yeah.
In the end, it all worked to her benefit.
Right, because now, even though they're not directly under her command, they trust her implicitly. They're like, this is a person who always has our best interests at heart.
So very interesting things happen in the fight between Magneto and the Avengers. First,
yes,
Magneto keeps his calm really, really well.
Yeah,
until Captain America fucks the fuck up by being like, Magneto's like, you accept bad guys onto your team? You understand that villains can change. You have Namor on your team. And Captain America's like, Namor proved himself when fighting the Nazis in World War II, so you might want to watch your tone. And fucking Magneto's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's what he flips out.
Yeah.
He has quite a speech too. It's really righteous.
And he's right.
Yeah.
And he's right. He was a victim of that. Yeah. Whatever Captain America and Namor went through in World War II pales in comparison to what Magneto went through.
And still, even in that anger, like he's still showing this restraint the entire time. Yes. He's like, if I were willing to kill them or maim them, then yeah, I could win this fight. But I'm trying to be nice.
Exactly. I'm trying to be nice to you guys. Stop bringing up Nazis.
He also, another thing he does, he's fighting, I want to say it's like Hercules that he surrounds in just a bunch of metal and then jets him off into the sky, just absolutely yeets him, right? And he knows that he sent it towards the ocean, but he's like, the Avengers don't know that I'm sending it towards the ocean. Yeah. They're going to be worried that it's going to strike civilians. So I've just gotten rid of Hercules and at least one more of them that's going to fly after him and make sure he doesn't hurt any civilians. Yeah. That, again, is classic supervillain technique, right? If you're fighting Spider-Man and he's got the upper hand, all you have to do is throw some rubble down at a crowd below and he'll go and save them from the rubble before he beats your ass. And so Magneto's doing that here, just knowingly not putting any civilians in danger. He's the only one that knows that. Still supervillain technique. Really, really just cool detail. Just the way that he approaches these fights is even so unique.
Here's another fun thing.
Yeah.
Magic, when she steals Captain America's shield, she calls him Mr. America.
Got him.
She's like, you're being a naughty boy, Mr. America. That had to fucking... Can you imagine your Captain America, a little girl in a school outfit, a school uniform, shows up, steals your shield from you.
Steals your primary weapon.
The fucking... Moving it back, the Nazis in World War II couldn't even do. Steals your shield from you, calls you Mr. America, and then disappears.
God.
Another interesting thing at the end, the reason White Queen's psychic surgery didn't work is because she healed their brains, but not their souls. So just more confirmation that in the Marvel Universe, souls exist.
616.
616 souls exist. More and more evidence. Well, what did you think of this fucking weird arc, man?
Matt, I had such a good time. I loved every moment of this. I thought that the writing was high quality. I thought all of the art was very good. Okay. I know that we talked about like that first issue with Mary Wilshire and Bill Sienkiewicz syncing up. It takes them maybe an issue to kind of work through, but from the start, the first there's two big splash panels to start, right? And one is all of the New Mutants looking grumpy and confused and not understanding why they have to stand here and listen to Magneto. And then the other is Magneto giving his speech. And they're just like, they're imposed so that you're looking at both of them at the same time. And it's like this, it's these two just beautiful, starkly contrasting frames. They're all wearing super 80s clothing, which I absolutely love. And
she does do a good,
it's just this really emotional 2 pages, with each one conveying its own emotion. And from there, I was hooked. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. We get to Beyonder shit. And even then I'm like, oh, this is a better Beyonder than we've read ever. This is like an intimidating villain. And I don't know how they're going to get through this. And then they fucking don't.
They don't.
But then they do. And then you have 3 issues to deal with just the emotional state that leaves them in and the impacts of that. It's so, it's really good storytelling, and it's so many things happen, but the theme of Magneto just getting his shit together, figuring it out is so consistent here that, this is one long story.
I agree. I think, and I love the metatextual layers. I love Chris Claremont just being like, every situation, this put me in such a shitty situation that I have to write my way out of. And I'm going to explain that to the reader on the page. I'm going to put that in the text, not just feel it and be grumpy. I'm going to write stories about how bad this was for me.
Sure.
And we'll see. It'll be interesting to compare how he does that in an Uncanny X-Men, right? But yeah, I mean, but he uses it to do some really interesting things with the characters, which clearly were different than what the exact things he had originally planned for the characters, but I think are really important. I think they really show some interesting things about them. Everything you said about Bill Sienkiewicz and Mary Wilshire is true, but I still think like it's like 2 great tastes that don't taste great together. Like, as everybody in the world agrees with me, fruit and chocolate. We all agree. All of us in the whole world agree.
God,
fruit and chocolate taste bad together. But the things you're pointing out, like her sense of layout, like the way that she designs layouts, the way that she designs characters and wardrobes and stuff, the way that her storytelling is fantastic. And I know she moves into like Barbie comics and stuff later in her career, but it's a shame for us. I don't know if it's a shame for the world. I don't know how popular those Barbie comics were, but it's a shame for us that we don't get more Mary Wilshire superhero stuff because she's so good at it.
Yeah.
But then of course it jumps from artist to artist, and it's going to for a little while, I think, before they find the next like New Mutants artist. Maybe Jackson Guichi stinks around.
Stinks the place up a bit.
I like Jackson Guichi's art. Any other notes?
No, I really enjoyed this. Here's one thing that got me, but I didn't think was important enough to mention. In the first issue we read here, where Magneto goes up and fucks up those frat boys, comes back, catches the New Mutants sneaking back in after him, and just gives them the little wink. What he says is like, all right, just get to bed, be quiet because Danny is resting. And Rain is like, is she going to be okay? Like, tell us. We haven't seen her since she got back. And Magneto looks right at her and says, a few days rest will find her right as Rain.
You think it's because he's talking to Rain?
He's saying it to her, and there's the ellipses are there to
the ellipses are there. Yes,
make it clear that he is either. I don't think it's a bad pun as much as it is him saying it and being like, "Oh, how about that?"
He's just realizing, I'm not a villain anymore. I'm allowed to make puns now.
Yeah,
I can do this. Good issues.
Good issues. Good episode.
Good episode.
Of issues. I don't know the actual quality.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Seal.
Ooh, Matt, you're going to hate this one today, but I could not resist. Let me just ask you, before you look at the ad here, what could be better than Nestle Quick and baseball?
What could be better than Nestle Quick and baseball? Nestle Quick without baseball.
No, wrong, idiot.
Gotcha. You got.
No, the answer is Nestle Quick and a free baseball.
That's just Nestle Quick and baseball. Hold on, that's the same thing.
No. A baseball, and it's free.
Wait, See, you're saying what's better than playing baseball and drinking Nestle Quick, which would be horrible, by the way. What's better than playing and you say what's better than drinking Nestle Quick and playing baseball is drinking Nestle Quick and having a baseball in your hand.
Because you got it for free.
So, all baseball players, what they would rather in their lives than to be out there playing baseball is if somebody just gave them a free baseball. They're all playing baseball so that they can save up enough money to buy themselves a baseball, and then they're done. They're out of it.
Dude. Listen, you haven't even... You're so outraged that I haven't even gotten to the point here that this is a free Steve Garvey baseball. It is, that's right, Matt, the San Diego Padres' own Steve Garvey, illustrated here.
Did you just cut out where I said it was the San Diego Padres Steve Garvey and then edit in you saying it was the San Diego Padres Steve Garvey?
No.
Because obviously I knew that.
No,
and
that
I
is
said it
not
first.
what happened.
And I said it first, and you must have cut it out.
Anyway, Steve Garvey's the one that says, what could be better than Nestle Quick in baseball? And he's asking that weird little rabbit that comes on the Nestle Quick bottles.
He's like Michael Jordan in Space Jam in that moment.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe this is where they got that.
They're reading this. I've got an idea.
Somebody get me Steve Garvey.
Sir, he's dead. Fuck. Who's the closest guy to Steve Garvey in 1995?
Michael Jordan. Matt, to get your free baseball imprinted with Steve Garvey's signature, send 2 UPC barcodes from any Nestle Quick product plus 75 cents to cover postage and handling, along with your name, address, and zip code. That's it.
You know what I'm going to say to this. So what do you want to tell the audience?
I know you don't like the sport of baseball. You're telling me that you wouldn't enjoy 2 chocolate milks and then just getting a baseball for free.
Right. Like if somebody was like, if you drink 2 chocolate milks, I'll give you a baseball.
Yeah. It's a little thing that you can play. It's a toy. You love toys.
Yeah. But
you do have to also mail them 3/4.
75 cents. I could use those 3/4 to get more chocolate milk.
Yeah, fair enough.
But maybe I could trade up the baseball. You know that? Did you ever hear that story of the guy with the paperclip and he traded up to get and he ended up with a house?
Right. Yes.
So I start
with a baseball.
I start with a baseball. I
trade it
up
for
to
some
get
Nestle Quick.
Nestle Quick. Then I trade that Nestle Quick up for 2 baseballs. Then I trade those 2 baseballs up for 4 Nestle Quicks.
That's too much Nestle Quick, dude.
I'm just gonna get
how many
by the end,
hours
I'm living in a house made of Nestle Quick. All right, deal.
All right.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Deals and Seal.
Well, folks, that's the end. Listen to the rest of this crap if you want to, but all the good stuff is done.
Yeah. Do you think people if they don't like listening to this crap, they at least fast forward to us saying the taglines, right?
Our famous catchphrase at the end, so they can say it with us, since it's the same thing every time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure. But in the rare event that you're not skipping ahead, I do just want to say, go to our patreon.com/mutant menace. It's a cool little website where
it's a site on the internet.
You can keep up with us, some updates, mostly reading lists that we put out there for free, or if you pay $1, there's also a lot of bonus content up there, a lot of just bonus stuff.
Yes.
Outside of Patreon, there's a whole world out there. You could go to Instagram, and look up at Mutant Menace Pod. You go to your email inbox and send an email to, I guess this would be your outbox, but send an email to mutantmenacepod@gmail.com to be featured on Pat's email corner. And then join our Discord. There's a link in the show notes. Please come chat with us.
I also want to give a big thanks to Julia Selly for the voice of Trish Tilby and Krills Wilson for doing all of our music every week. Except for Pat's Emo Corner. That guy's still asleep in my house.
Oh, man. Wake him up, dude. You gotta.
I know. I always kick him out the moment he's done, and now he's asleep in here. And I'm afraid to wake him up.
I know
he
what
fell
to wake him up.
asleep with a knife in his hand.
Oh, no. I know what'll wake him up, Matt.
What'll wake him up?
Our famous catchphrase that we say at the end of every episode.
Yeah, which I have right here.
Why don't you give it a shot, Matt?
Okay. As we say at the end of every episode, a glowing frog?
That's right, folks. And as always, get a free baseball from Steve Garvey's favorite chocolate milk.